gutter poppy. You already know what it is. Peace and power to the people. To the people who have power, there will be no peace. A simple act of kindness can change the outcome of somebody's life. Multiplied by millions will change the world. Um, as I was going to bed last night, as I was starting to fall asleep, that hypnagogic state, uh, I remembered something. I remembered something in that, and I wrote it down. So I'm about to share this shit. I'm about to share this shit. Get ready. I would love to be able to say all cops I've come in contact with are bad or assholes. It would be easy if it was that way. But I've come in contact with cops that started out as assholes and at some point showed me some compassion. I've had deputies in county offer me a newspaper and a slice of pizza after a few days of not eating because I was dope sick. Excuse me. Most of the time, they are their jobs cold, cruel, unjust, and foul. But that's the oath they swore to. But in the core of all that is a person. One time I got arrested on Broadway on a warrant and had some weed on me and a few grams of hash oil, 3 I think. It was so cold I had on long johns, and I dropped the vials down the leg, hopefully to bring them into county with me. When we got to the station, the cop pulled into the garage, shut the door, and got me out of the back seat. My hands were behind my back. The left cuff was too tight, and he was twisting the fuck out of my wrist. So naturally, I told him, and he just twisted harder. I pulled away out of reflex and actually slipped his grip. He grabbed my shoulder and chest, slamming my back against the wall. I'm cussing him out, and he grabs to choke me. He wrapped his hands around my neck and started to squeeze, holding me tighter against the wall. That's when something clicked. I was triggered. I saw red, and I jumped flight. I wrapped my left leg around the back of his right knee and leaned full, sending my forehead into his cheek. His leg buckled and I drove him to the floor, bumping his head. His cap flies off, rolling down the drive, and his radio slid into the curb a few feet away. I had him pinned down for a few seconds, but without free hands, the cop got me on my back again, and he was soon straddling my midsection again, squeezing his hands around my throat. With nothing left to do, I looked him deep into his beady brown eyes, connecting with his lizard brain, and shouted, "Yeah! Squeeze harder!" My face must have looked so honest to my words. He showed a fear that made his ferocious demeanor immediately fade away. His eyebrows and frowns softened, and his hands and arms went limp. I had already locked my right leg around his left, and a split second before I was going to flex and overtake him, the garage opened with bright headlights blaring into the dimly lit garage drive. I was relieved. This cop was an asshole from the second he opened his mouth, but I made him earn his money that night. And I wasn't done yet. He'll never forget my ass. The cop was still on top of me as the other cops slowly drove past, watching it unfold. I shouted, "You see this motherfucker trying to choke me? He's trying to kill me." The cop in the car looked away and said, "I didn't see nothing." And I laughed. That's all I could do. I caught a couple knees and body blows while on my back. Finally, he hopped up and snatched me by the same left wrist and picked me back up, facing the wall. The door opened to the station, and we walked in. This cop had to be a rookie. He stood me next to the trash can where I was able to throw my weed away before they searched me. But I still had the hash in my pant leg. Some minutes later, the cop who just drove in walked behind the counter and told the rookie to make sure to strip me to search me, with a smirk on his face. I knew he was full of shit and laughed to myself, but this clown, this rookie cop, took him seriously. Usually you only get a full strip search when you give up your clothes for an orange sweatsuit at county. But like I said, I wasn't done yet, so I went along with it. After going through my pockets and shoes, he took off one sock and 2 of the vials of hash oil fell out. He asked if I had more. I said no. He walked behind the counter and told me what to do next, that foul, demeaning act of spread and cough. I took my pants off, put them on the counter, then my shirt, and finally my long johns. I actually didn't realize I still had 1 vial of hash left. As I pulled my pants down, it fell out, skipping across the floor like a marble. He came around and picked it up to keep it as evidence. I raised my arms, turned around in a circle. He paused, so I started reaching for my clothes. When the old cop says, "Make him cough." By now, I was mad as fuck because I don't have anything but shit up my ass. And not to mention, I had to shit. I say, "Come on, man. I don't have anything else." The rookie goes, "You already said that once. And what happened to the weed you had?" I thought to myself, "You mean the weed right over there in the garbage can?" But I said, "Maybe it's in the car or it fell out when you tried to kill me." So I turned around and bent over and spread my cheeks. Just as he started to say cough, I did it. I let one rip. I farted a huge gust of flatulence right into his face. He looked deeper into me than either of us knew was humanly possible. He made a heaving sound and turned away with a grimace. I yelled to the other cop. He yelled to the other cop, "Did you see that? His ass just opened up. The motherfucker just farted right in my face. Holy shit, I can't unsee that." As he was trying to catch his breath from dry heaving uncontrollably, I calmly got dressed and ready for my ride downtown. He thought he wanted to be an asshole to me that night, but I showed him what a real asshole looks like. He saw the core of a person. That's some real shit right there. Some real ass talk. Peace. I hope that made somebody laugh, man, because that's some real shit. All right, down.